C'est un bon début, ça.
Hein?
C'est un bon début.
C'est un bon début. Good morning, everyone. So we selected two main cropping systems in the Bocknor station and one pasture land. So what we did is that we collected the residue on the topsoil for each of the cropping system and for the pasture land. So what we have in front of us is that we have first a monocropping of soybean that is managed under plough-based tillage. We have also a soybean that is managed under direct seeding mulch-based cropping system under conservation agriculture management. And this soybean it's in fact a 2 years rotational sequence between soybean and maize, and also in association with one cover crop that is the Stylosanthes guyanensis. So we can see this residue of the Stylosanthes on that part. And the last one, we use a pasture land that we use as a reference. So it's a pasture land of Brachyaria mulato. And so what we can see first is that, okay, we collected this residue on the topsoil, we dry it, and after we sieve this residue using different size of sieves. So we use sieve of 8 mm, 4 mm, 2 mm, 1, 0.5 and 0.25. So the first observation is that obviously, I mean, it's two contrasted cropping system and one pasture land. So the quantity and the quality of the biomass of the residue that we have on the topsoil is totally different from one system to another one. So we can observe that under a soybean monocropping managed under plough-based tillage, we have less than 2 tons of dry matter on the topsoil. When we compare with the CA cropping system, we are close to 9 tons of dry matter on the topsoil, so it's already a very big difference that we have. And finally, on the reference, on the pasture land, we are close to 12 tons of dry matter per hectare on the topsoil. We have also to keep in mind that it's a plough-based management, it's a no-till management, I mean it's a DMC management, so we have no soil disturbance except the use of the planting machine, of the no-till planter with a sowing disc and cutting disc, so it's the only disturbance that we have on the topsoil. So what we can observe first on the first class of residue is that the quantity of residue that remains, the larger residue that we have and that remains on the topsoil, it's a very small quantity under the plough-based tillage when compared with the DMC or when compared with the pasture land. After, when we look the process of fragmentation, because what will be the process of decomposition is that this larger residue will be progressively fragmented by the soil biota and mainly by the macrofauna. So we will have a progressive process of fragmentation and decomposition of the residue that we have on the topsoil. So it's the main observation that we can do here. And what has been done after that is that we collected also the topsoil aggregate. We selected macro aggregate higher than 19 mm for the 0 to 10 centimeter. And we did, after that, we bring the macro aggregate on the lab, and we exactly follow the same process using exactly the same size of sieve, and we did a water stable aggregation process. So it's the second step that we are going to see right now, and we want clearly to make the connection between the residue that we have on the topsoil, the quantity and the quality, and the process of the soil aggregation. C'est peut-être avant de plus complet à analyser dans le français. Tu veux bouger ou
ouais.
On remet quand même les écriteaux là, je pense. Si, je pense que c'est bien. Je pense que c'est utile. de ramener toujours la biomasse.
Ce qui m'embête, entre guillemets, avec le commentaire des litières, c'est que c'est très proche, comme tu disais, de ce qu'on a déjà fait la dernière fois.
Je le sais, ça c'est...